On this Wellness Wednesday, a North Texas woman's journey to find relief from migraines. Sheila Bollen spent nearly 2 decades living with constant, debilitating headaches. And after trying countless over-the-counter remedies, her search for relief led her to the Baylor Scott and White Headache Care Program. Sheila is here along with her nurse practitioner, Nikki Mauman. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So glad to have you both here. So if you could, Sheila, I would love if you could take us back. What did migraines feel like for you, and how did they impact your life, your everyday life?
I definitely would say it definitely impacted the quality of life. There were just days that I couldn't be in a light. I really couldn't function most of the time, or more along the lines of I had to take a nap throughout the day. Like, I just couldn't do too much energy, too much of anything, right? I really needed to be in rooms that were pretty low lighting and all of that. So I spent years with just my head consistently pounding in the background, regardless to whatever else I had going on.
Did you know exactly what, because I know there's a long list of triggers when it comes to migraines and headaches, and so did you know what yours were?
Not at first. It took some time for them to tell me that they were really stress-induced, right? And so, but who doesn't live a stressful life, or who doesn't have stress in their lives? So, you know, how do you take away all the stress that you have in your life? It was really hard. So that pretty much how they triggered and how they started, and they kept evolving over time. And so I just wrote it off as something that I was going to consistently have to deal with
for the rest of your life. So you tried countless over-the-counter remedies. Tell me, at what point did you figure out this was actually a genetic disorder?
Last year, actually, I was going through some other tests, and they ran across that I had a genetic disorder that said, Sheila, you can't take any more over-the-counter medications. And I was like, oh gosh, what will this mean for me? What will I do? Because I had been using them for so many years to kind of function and to be able to just have normalcy in my day, right? And so just about that time, I was like on the Baylor Scott and White app, and I came across the headache care clinic, and it was a moment of clarity, and I was like, I have to try this, right? If I can do anything else, I have to at least try this, because I don't know how I'll function if I really have to deal with a migraine every single day, which I have been doing.
Oh my gosh, I just can't imagine all the things that you were going through, and like you said, your quality of life, and just how detrimental it can be because of this one thing that is controlling everything else. Tell me how common this is for women, especially in comparison to men.
Yeah, I mean, if you take 4 patients who have migraines, likely 3 of them will be women. So it's very common for women to have migraines compared to men. And the biggest component of that is most likely hormones, especially the fluctuations of estrogen that goes on throughout our bodies and throughout the month. So menstrual migraines, when we have fluctuations in the estrogen there, during pregnancy, perimenopause, post-pregnancy, is when you'll start seeing some headaches and migraines start to emerge.
Yes. Okay, so technically those sound like all like life triggers to me. Can you tell me any other triggers that maybe we should keep up top of mind?
Yeah, there's so many, and it just varies individual to individual.
Right.
And so, living in Central Texas, I'm sure a lot of patients have triggers with allergies.
Cedar fever, it's a thing right now.
It really is. But there are so many, like Sheila mentioned, stress. That's a huge trigger for a lot of people. And sometimes we can't control stress. Sometimes it's really job related. And so we can do the best to just lower stress as much as we can.
Yeah. Can I ask, how does this, because you have this virtual headache care as well, in addition to this program, how exactly does that work? How do you guys help over the phone or online, over Zoom?
Yeah. Sheila found us, through our Baylor Scott and White app. We were able to connect with her virtually. We only see patients virtually, and it's so helpful for us to be able to, really understand and get a good, deep knowledge of what they're going through on a day-to-day basis, take a really good history, do an assessment, and then really go through all the treatment options and lay them out and see, what works best for them. And it's so amazing to be able to connect with patients virtually in a setting where maybe you're not in a really bright lit doctor's office with stimulations and things like that, because migraines come with a lot of sound sensitivity and light sensitivity.
Makes it easier on the patient.
Exactly.
Very
I've done
good.
some visits with patients that are in darkly lit rooms because they have a migraine that day. So.
I love. Tell me, what's life like for you today?
Oh my gosh, my quality of life has improved 100%. I could not thank the team, Nikki and the team that I work with, in order to come up with a regimen and come up with a personalized plan that was for me. I think that was one of the things I loved about going through this program, is that it just wasn't about my migraines. They were compassionate, but they were also intentional, but they were also focused on me as a whole person,
It's
right?
a personalized plan for
it was
everybody.
a personalized plan.
So good.